The correction for Dowager's hump and the technique that closes the facet joints is you want to do strokes that focus going down the lamina groove. And I'm just going to do a few glides before I do the correction of the facet joints. So really the direction of the stroke is because when they have a forward thoracic curve, a forward head posture, and develop the Dowager's hump, we want to get all these tissues to relax. Again, we're pushing the erector spinae into the spine to activate those. And then I'm going to bring a skeletal model up here for a second just to show you what I mean by closing the thoracic facet joints. When we have the kyphotic curve where the thoracic spine is rotating forward, what happens is these facet joints actually open. So I'm going to just open a couple of these joints. Those facet joints open and they have to close. So when they're open and they have to close, what we do is we basically take our hand in the cervical area, and what Fran's going to be doing is I'm sliding down the lamina groove on both sides, pushing near the transverse processes. If Fran brings her head up like this, the activation of cervical extension, I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to be sliding down. When she goes into cervical extension, go ahead, we close the thoracic facet joints. And she comes back, and I just keep sliding near those transverse processes. I can do it with my fingertips like that, or I can take my strong part of my right hand, my index finger and ring finger, and I can slide down the lamina groove like that. And as you can see, the activation of cervical extension when she brings her head up will help activate closure of the thoracic facet joints. So I'm going to do that technique next. And what this technique involves is I like to get my thumbs in the lamina groove first. And as she extends her neck, go ahead. If I find a stubborn fixated area, I'll just hold for a few seconds. Go ahead and keep moving your head up and down. And then she'll go ahead and go and extend again. There's a facet joint that's stubborn, so I'll hold that tender point, see if it wants to close. And then she activates cervical extension, and then back, and activates cervical extension, and back, and activates cervical extension. And I take that down to about T12.